It is incredibly common to pack up your whole life and move to a massive city simply because it's famous, assuming a larger population automatically equals better opportunities for whatever you want to do. But if you show up in a major metro area without your goals explicitly aligned to the local economy, you don't get ahead. You just get entirely swallowed whole by the exorbitant cost of living and the daily friction of millions of people. America's 10 largest cities are not interchangeable grids with different weather. Each one operates as a highly specialized ecosystem built around a specific economic or cultural engine. Looking at this map of the 10 largest U.S. markets, from New York to Los Angeles, they seem equally viable. But to choose the right home, we must swap out population size and look at their dominant industries. Placing yourself in the wrong ecosystem means you are fighting an uphill battle. A tech worker in a finance hub, or an outdoor enthusiast in an endless concrete grid, is burning time and money for zero return. So we need to break down these 10 cities by their primary engines to figure out exactly which market fits your specific situation. Getting a high return on your relocation requires dropping the idea of a perfect do-it-all city and committing to a specialized geographic advantage. For those of you optimizing entirely for career growth, you need to evaluate cities defined by clustering effects, places where specific industries physically group together to share talent and capital. San Jose is the clearest example. As the absolute center of Silicon Valley, it offers unmatched access to global technology firms and venture capital funding, provided you are completely dedicated to the tech sector. Houston operates as a massive dual-engine powerhouse. First, it anchors the global energy industry, operating at a heavy industrial scale that commands international oil and gas markets. Beyond energy, Houston also serves as a premier hub for aerospace research, housing NASA operations and driving a highly specialized engineering sector. Then there's Chicago. The Windy City relies on a massive foundation of established corporate infrastructure and monumental urban design to drive its economy. Looking at the skyline along the river, you see the physical result of that legacy, a dense concentration of multinational headquarters operating in close proximity. The trade-off for plugging into these hyper-specialized machines is steep. You have to endure brutal winter climates in Chicago or expose yourself entirely to the harsh boom and bust cycles of energy and tech. Moving to a hyper-specialized city gives you access to the highest possible earning ceilings in your field, provided you can survive the intense competition of a singular economic focus. If your priority isn't climbing a rigid corporate ladder, you need to evaluate cities where the daily lived experience and local environment are the main attractions. Los Angeles pairs a premium Southern California coastal climate with absolute global dominance in the entertainment industry. Getting access to those beaches and studio networks comes at a high daily cost. Navigating LA requires immense patience to deal with the severe traffic and sprawling density of millions of residents. A few hours south, San Diego offers a noticeably more tranquil daily rhythm. The climate is highly optimized, and the beaches are less chaotic. Structurally, San Diego's economy is anchored by massive naval installations and defense contracting, providing stability alongside the coastal lifestyle. Inland, Phoenix has surged as a definitive Sunbelt destination, drawing a rapidly expanding population with a warm, sprawling desert environment and high housing construction. The physical cost of that desert sprawl is enduring extreme, sustained heat waves during the peak summer months. Choosing a lifestyle optimizer gives you a superior day-to-day environment, but you have to accept that the civilian corporate sector won't be as deeply diversified as the legacy financial hubs. Our final group consists of cities defined by massive operational scale, whether that's rooted in deep American history or sprawling modern commerce. New York City remains the definitive financial capital. It offers immediate access to global financial networks and incredibly diverse cultural ecosystems, all stacked on top of one another. But living in the Big Apple requires maximum friction, the highest cost of living in the country, tight spaces, and overwhelming daily density. Down in northern Texas, Dallas takes the opposite approach. It is a rapidly expanding metropolitan center built on vast transportation networks and broad financial services. Dallas provides aggressive business growth and heavy corporate relocation, but it forces you to navigate a vast, spread-out geography, almost entirely dependent on driving. Looking toward historical hubs, Philadelphia stands as a primary center for deep American heritage, preserving the physical infrastructure of the nation's independence. Similarly, San Antonio blends a rich Spanish colonial heritage with highly specific urban features, drawing massive cultural capital from attractions like the Riverwalk. Committing to these hubs means you are passing on the isolated tech bubbles to plug directly into either deep historical roots or generalized sprawling commercial expansion. Breaking down these 10 cities reveals one undeniable truth: no single location has every advantage. Structural compromise is required. To make the right choice, build a framework that isolates your absolute primary driver for relocating. If your driver is specialized career growth, follow the path straight to the hyper-focused economies of San Jose for tech, Houston for energy, or New York for finance. If your daily environment dictates your well-being, prioritize the coastal climates and cultural output of Los Angeles or San Diego. And if you are seeking broad business opportunity and expanding infrastructure, follow the growth curves into Dallas or Phoenix. The critical step is acceptance. You have to explicitly decide which friction, whether it's brutal winters, the intense density, or endless sprawl, you are willing to tolerate in exchange for your primary goal. When you strip away a city's generic prestige and look directly at its core economic data, the choice stops being overwhelming and starts becoming obvious. A successful urban life is built by aligning your personal ambitions with a city's foundational pillar. Once you do that, you transform the inevitable trade-offs into your greatest strategic advantage.